How are we today? Welcome back. We're going to get stuck into a mat class in a minute. Roll yourself out. If you haven't already done so, feel free to stop the video and roll yourself out. I'm not going to have you on the rollers too much for today, just a few bits and pieces. A couple of reminders of a few little things. Just be mindful of the space you're in. Be careful of the things around you. You don't want you to hit you anything and hurt yourself as you're going along. If anything bothers your body today, you're going to leave it out. Nothing's compulsory, so just listen to your body, and if it's something that's not quite right for you today, leave it out. It won't be very long before we move through it fairly quickly. I am going to start you rolling on your rollers in your goalpost position. I do like that position as a general stretch for our pecs and our shoulders. So like I said, feel free to stop the video, do some extra rolling out, or come with me and jump straight up onto your roller. If you don't have a roller, staying on the mat to do this exercise will achieve a similar result. Otherwise, on your rollers, you're going to have your hips on one end, you're going to get your head down on the other end. Just be careful as you do so. Use your hands to sort of walk yourself down. If you haven't got a roller, you're still lying down on your back on your mat or on the floor, and you're going to just still check your alignment. All those bits and pieces are the same. You're just on the floor instead of on your roller. If you're on your roller, your knees are in line with your second toes, so your knees and your hip bones are in alignment. Also going to just double check your head, neck and shoulder alignment. So you want to have nice little gap between your chin and your chest. So that should take your gaze straight up towards the ceiling. Goalpost position, it's a beautiful stretch. So just let your arms come up into what I call that goalpost position and just hang there and just do some gentle breaths. Don't overthink your breathing for a minute, just breathe for me. Let your arms hang. You should feel a lovely stretch through the front of your pecs. They're the muscles that run across the front of your chest. And just some nice big deep breaths, not overthinking it, but just getting some movement through your body by breathing. You can change the position of this slightly. So you can tuck your elbows down further towards your waistline. That's going to give you a different stretch to the front of your chest. And you can also take your arms further up by your ears. That will give you a different stretch to the front of your chest as well. Either of those are fine. We're just going to hang here for a couple more breaths. Big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Nice and relaxed through your head, neck and shoulders. And one more breath. And then we're going to take our hands and we're going to place them on our rib cage. So I want you to feel your ribs moving today. So we're going to have middle fingers touching each other, and you're going to take those hands of yours with your middle fingers touching, and you're going to put them on the bottom of your ribs. You're going to have some nice big deep breaths for me. And if possible, you're breathing in through your nose and you're breathing out through your mouth. And as you take those nice big deep breaths, breathing in and out, your ribs are expanding. And you should feel those ribs moving underneath your hands. So as you take that nice big deep breath in, you'll feel your ribs moving. And then you exhale to slowly let all the air out of your lungs that you can. We're going to do 2 more breath patterns like that. Big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. One more breath pattern for me. Big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're going to do our belly breathing, our diaphragmatic breathing. So if you can take one hand and put it on the bottom or on top of your belly. Other hand's going to stay on the bottom of your ribs. So you're going to breathe with your bellies now. So you're going to breathe in, and as you breathe in, you're going to feel your belly lifting gently up underneath your hand. And as you breathe out, you're going to feel that belly just gently dropping back down. So as you breathe in, you feel your belly lifting. As you breathe out, that belly gently drops back down. So you're going to keep breathing like that for me. Nice big deep breath still, belly's lifting and lowering. This movement's created with our diaphragm moving. We know that. We can feel it all happening underneath our hand as that belly lifts, and then breathe out. We're going to do 2 more breaths like that. Big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And one more breath pattern, big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay, we're going to bring our arms down by our side if we're on our rollers, and we're going to roll off of our rollers. So you're going to roll to one side. You're going to gently just push that foam roller out from underneath you, roll it out to the side, slide it out of your way, and we're going to lie flat on our mat and enjoy that nice flat feeling. We're going to start with pelvic tilts today. We're going to do a couple of little different things today. We're going to start with pelvic tilts. I want to warm your lower back up first. So palms up or down, I don't mind, you can choose. Either is fine. If your palms are down, still try and make sure your shoulders stay nice and broad and wide. Feet hip width distance firmly flat on the mat so you can feel even weight distribution right across your feet. Right now you've got that little arch underneath your back. You're going to take a breath in and you're going to breathe out to gently tip your pelvis backwards and allow your spine to flatten into your mat. And then you're going to roll your pelvis forwards. You're going to allow your back to arch right up off of the mat. And then you're going to gently roll backwards. You're going to allow your spine to gently flatten into the mat. And you're going to roll your pelvis forwards and let that back arch. So you're just going to move like that in your own time. Everybody's movement range is a little bit different. As you're rolling backwards and forwards, you're still trying to keep those knees of yours relatively still. They should stay in line with your second toes. Try not to let them wobble around too much. Let your breath match your movement. We're going to do 2 more. Exhaling as we gently tilt back and allow that spine to flatten into the mat. We're going to inhale to roll that pelvis forwards. We're going to do 1 more each way. Gently roll backwards, allow that spine to flatten into the mat. Roll the pelvis forwards and let the back arch. And then rest in neutral. We're going to do 2 bridges only. I want you to feel how they feel, particularly in your hip area. Okay? So, take a breath in. As you breathe out, tip your pelvis backwards and then come up into that nice, long, strong bridge. And just give some thought as to how much you can feel the opening through the front of your hips, or if right now you still feel that a little bit too tight, things are a bit stiff. Okay, 1 more. Inhale first, gentle tilt back, spine imprints, and then go up into that nice long bridge. Just think about how it feels. Maybe it's a bit tight today, maybe it's nice and free, and then slowly down and rest at the bottom. We're going to do bent knee fallout, and then we're going to go back to the bridge. So, wriggle your knees and feet together to touch for me. With your bent knee fallout, it's about mobilizing your hip joints in a lateral movement, so a sideways movement, but without the pelvis moving. So you want to keep that pelvis still. You can even put your hands on your hips if you like to give you a bit of feedback as to what is happening. So starting with your left leg, take a breath in and breathe out to let your left leg draw out towards the side without your right leg moving. And then pull your left leg back to the center line. And then change sides. Allow the right leg to go out towards the side without the left leg moving. And then pull it back in. So you're going to alternate sides. As the leg goes out towards the side, your hip bones are still. If you've got your hands on your hips, you'll feel whether they're moving. And your other knee doesn't move. So picture in your mind what's going on there. The pelvic bowl is still, but the ball and socket joint rolls out to the side. So the femur, that's the bone that's in your thigh, the ball and socket joint's at the top of that, and that's rolling through your pelvic bowl, but the pelvis is not moving. Your breath is matching that for me. Okay, we're going to do 1 more on each side. So, breathe in first, exhale, the left knee goes out towards the side, get the right knee still, and then pull it back to center. And then you've got 1 more on the right hand side, allow the leg to go out to the right, pull back to center, and pause in the middle. Now, wriggle your feet back into hip width and bring your arms back down by your side. Okay, so we're going to revisit those bridges. So go back in your mind as to how those first couple felt that we did right at the beginning. And then take a breath in, breathe out to tip the pelvis backwards, and then come up into your nice elongated bridge. Take a breath in at the top and slowly come down. Nice long breath, allow the pelvis to roll through neutral. So you get a bridge in your own time. Get the movement happening and then start to think about it. How does it feel? You should feel a little bit freer. It should feel a little bit more smooth. You should feel a little bit more opening through the front of your hips. Remember, your knees are still. Try to keep them in line with your second toes. As you're bridging up and down, those arms of yours, they're just gently engaged into your mat. So you can just gently push your arms into the mat. That's about 10 to 15%, and that is switching your back muscles on. You're trying to keep your knees in line with your second toe as much as you can. You've got 2 to go. Inhale first, gentle tilt back, allow the spine to flatten, imprint, and then come up into that nice elongated bridge and really feel that opening through the front of your hips, and then slowly down. Breathe out all the way. Let the pelvis roll through neutral at the bottom. And you've got 1 left. Inhale first, gentle tilt back, spine imprints, and then up into that nice long bridge. Pause at the top, breath in, and then down you come. Breathe out all the way. rest at the bottom. Little hamstring stretch. Straighten your left leg straight to the ceiling, interlace your hands behind your left leg and pull that leg in towards your chest. So you're getting that nice stretch all the way through the back of your leg. If you want to add your neural floss, pull your toes to your nose, point your toes to the ceiling. So you're going to flex and point, and flex and point, and flex and point. One more each way. Then you're going to lower the leg down. You're going to bring the right leg up towards the ceiling. You're going to interlace the hands behind your leg, pull the leg in towards your chest, legs straight if you can, soften through the knee if you prefer, either is fine. You want to feel it in the back of your thigh though. And then toes to nose, toes to ceiling, toes to nose, toes to ceiling. So you're just flexing and pointing, and flexing and pointing, and flexing and pointing. And relax. And lower the leg all the way down onto the mat. Okay, we're going to leave your legs alone for a minute. We're going to come into some arm arcs and some windmills and get some nice shoulder mobility. So arms are down by your side, really long for me. So reach those arms down towards your toes. You're going to take a breath in and you're going to breathe out to bring both arms straight to the ceiling. Your arms are nice and long and straight, and you're going to bring them all the way back down to the mat. So inhale, breath first, breathe out to bring those nice long arms to the ceiling, and then bring them all the way down. We're going to do one more like that. Inhale first, exhale, float those arms to the ceiling for me, and then bring them all the way down. Okay, we're going to go into a scissor pattern. So you're going to bring both arms to the ceiling and pause. You're going to let one arm come further above your head, your other one's going to come to your side, and then you're going to bring them back to the ceiling and change them over. So you're going to scissor your arms forwards and backwards. Your arms stay nice and long and straight. Your rib to hip connection remains, so you're keeping your ribs funneled down towards your pelvis. And your arms, they're just moving within the range that you can keep that rib to hip connection. So if you feel your ribs starting to lift and flare up towards the ceiling, then you're going to make the range smaller for me. Nice big deep breaths as you move. You're going to do one more in each direction. Inhale, exhale, change those arms through the center. And then last one. When you get back to the top, I want you to pause there. We're going to move into windmills. So if windmills aren't right for you today, go back to scissors. If you don't have the space for windmills, go back to scissors. Otherwise, take a breath in, breathe out, bring your right arm up to your ear, take your left arm down by your side, and then circle your arms around. It's like you're making a big snow angel. And then bring them back to the ceiling. And keep going in that direction. One arm up, one arm down. Circle them around. Okay, so as you're moving, go back to thinking about your rib to hip connection. What's happening there? Keep those ribs funneled down towards that pelvis. Nice big deep breaths. You're breathing in through your nose and you're breathing out through your mouth. When you get to the top, you're going to change the direction. So you're going to bring your left arm up by your ear, your right arm down by your side, and you're going to circle them around. And you're going to keep going in that direction. Inhale, exhale. Arms stay nice and long and straight. Rest of the body is stable and still. You're taking your breathing pattern, breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. We're going to do one more. Inhale, exhale, round you go. When your arms get back to the top, you're going to pause for me. And you're going to lower your arms down and you're going to rest them all the way down by your side. We're going to work with some legs now. We're going back to legs. We're going to do some dead bugs with some extension and some circles. A couple of things to think about today. Try not to let your hip flexors take over the movement. Try and keep them nice and relaxed. Keeping your abdominal muscles switched on will help that. So arms by your side, tummy muscles engaged. So gently pull your belly button back towards your spine. We're going to start with dead bugs. We're going to lead with the left leg. We're going to take a breath in. We're going to breathe out to float that left leg up to 90 degrees without our hip flexors engaging too much. And then we're going to lower that leg down. We're going to change to the right. Inhale, breath first. Exhale to float the right leg up to the ceiling. Keep the abdominals switched on. And then bring it down. Alternate sides for me. Pelvis stays still. No movement through that pelvis. Body still, no movement through the torso. The movement here is coming from that hip bone. The ball and socket joint rolls back as you lift your leg up and then you lower it down. We're going to move into extension. Lift your left leg up to tabletop and hold it there. Without your pelvis or your back moving, stretch your leg out to a 45-degree angle. Bend your knee back and lower it back down. Change sides. Float your right leg up to tabletop. Keep the pelvis stable and still. Stretch it out nice and long and straight. Point your toes. Bend your knee back in and lower it all the way down. We're going to do 2 more on each side. Left leg floats up. Stretch it out nice and long and straight. Bend the leg back in and then lower it all the way down. You're going to move to the right side. Float the right leg up. Stretch it out long and straight. Lengthen through that leg. Bend your leg back in and lower it down. Okay, you've got 1 to go on each side. Inhale first. Exhale to lift. Lengthen that long pelvis, torso stable and still, and then lower the leg down. Last one on the right. Float the right leg up. Stretch it out long and straight. Bend it back in and lower it all the way down. Pause there. Pelvis in neutral, spine's in neutral. You can feel a little arch in your back, keeping all of that still. Tummy muscles switched on. Back to the left leg. Take a breath in. Bring it to tabletop first. Stretch it out 45 degrees and point your toes. Draw me some circles. Your circles are round. Your circles are about the size of a dinner plate. Your right leg is not moving. You're breathing. Big deep breaths. Reverse. Change the direction. Keep the circle nice and round. Keep the length in the leg. Keep your breath pattern going for me. Inhaling and exhaling. You've got 2 more circles here. And you're going to pause. You're going to bend your knee. And you're going to place your foot back down onto the ground. You're going to float your right leg up to tabletop. You're going to stretch it out to that 45-degree angle. You're pointing your toes and you've got circles. Nice round circles. Pelvis is still. There's no movement through that torso. Nice long breaths. Keep the length in that leg. Change the direction. Reverse your circle. Nice big deep breath still. Keep your breath pattern going. It's going to help you do the movement. You've got 2 circles to go. And you're going to pause, bend your knee, and bring your leg all the way down. Drop both of your legs to the left-hand side of the mat. Feel free to slide your arms out a bit wider and take your gaze over your right shoulder. So just a nice big rotational stretch here. Let the body just stretch there for a second. Open up through the back and those hips. We're going to change sides. You're going to switch tummy muscles on if you've let them go. Engage them, gently pull those legs through the center. You're going to drop them over to the right hand side of your mat and you're going to take your gaze over your left shoulder. And again, you're just going to hang there and you're going to breathe. Nice big deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out. You're going to pull yourself back into the middle and you're going to rest for a microsecond. We're going to go single leg stretch and single straight leg stretch today, one after the other. You can feel free to rest at any point. Remember, the lower the leg, the more challenging it is. I'm just going to grab a sip of water. The leg doesn't need to be low to be challenging. But the lower it is, the more challenging. But you must be able to maintain your spine imprinted. Okay, so float one leg to 90 degrees and hold it there. Take a breath in and bring your second leg to join it. Rest your hands up on top of your knees. And then take a breath in and breathe out to lift your head, neck and shoulders up. You're going to be looking down between your legs. Stretch one leg out nice and long and straight and pull the opposite leg in towards your chest. Now that leg that's long and straight, it could be lower. It doesn't need to be lower, but it could be lower. And then change them over. Pull the opposite leg in towards your chest and stretch the other leg out long. So you're going to swap them over in your own time. Shoulders stay nice and broad and wide. Breathing in and breathing out for me. Gaze. That is down between the middle of your thighs. Nice long breaths to match your movement. The effort of your legs. As much as you pull one leg in, you are stretching the other leg out nice and long. So you want to match that effort. As much as one leg pulls in, the other leg lengthens out nice and long. You're going to do one more on each side. We're going to roll straight into straight legs. So pause here. The leg that you're holding onto, make it straight. Slide your hands up the back of that leg and pull that leg in towards your chest. And then inhale, exhale, scissor them over and change. So gaze remains in the same place, down between those thighs. Legs are long. Lengthen those legs out. The lower the leg, the more challenging the exercise will be. It doesn't need to be low to make it challenging. You choose your range for me. Listen to your bodies. You want to keep that spine of yours imprinted. You're going to do one more on each side. Inhale, exhale, change them over. Last one here. You're going to bring both legs to the ceiling. You're going to tuck your hands behind your knees. You're going to bend your knees. You're going to bring your head, neck and shoulders down. Slide your hands around the front of your shins and hug your knees into your chest. And then roll. Little roll left to right. Little massage of your spine. Whilst you're here, little turn of your head from left to right as well. Reverse the direction. Go the other way for me. Nice little massage of that spine. Keep your breathing going. Big deep breaths still. Lovely. And then bring your feet back down onto the mat and bring your arms down by your side. We're going to go into it's called double straight leg stretch. We're going to do it with some single arms. The idea is not let your body drop, okay? And I'll walk you through that in a minute. So arms are back down by your side. Broad shoulders, try and keep them that way when we get up there. Float one leg to 90 degrees and hold it. Take a breath in and bring your second leg up to join it. Place your hands on top of your knees for me, and then breathe in and breathe out to lift your head, neck and shoulders up and take your gaze down to the middle of your thighs. We're going to do the left side first. Bring your arm up by your ear and stretch your left leg out long and straight. Circle your arm around, bring the leg and the arm back to the start position, and then change. Right arm goes out by your ear, right leg goes out, circle the arm around, bring the leg back to the start. So you're going to alternate sides. As you're doing these, your torso should not drop. So if you are looking down between your legs, I want you to fix your eyes on something on the other side of your room. Keep your eyes on that spot. That will help you, give you some feedback as to whether your body is dropping. You're going to do 2 more on each side. Arm and leg stretch out, circle the arm around, bring the leg back to the start. Over to the other side, keep that gaze down between your thighs. If you want to rest, rest, otherwise 1 more on each side. Arm and leg go out, circle the arm, bring the leg back. Last one. When you get back into the center, pause, lower your head, neck and shoulders down. Place your feet down, slide your legs out long and straight, stretch your arms above your head, go into a great big full body stretch. So open through your fingers, point your toes away from you, get that nice stretch through the front of your hips, and you're going to breathe here. A couple of big deep breaths. Still using that full lung capacity. Then you're going to float those long arms of yours to the ceiling. You're going to bring them down. You're going to rest them down by your side. We're going to roll onto your sides. So you've got a couple of choices here. I'm going to prop myself up on my elbow. If you prefer to come down and cradle your head in on your arm, that's okay. You can do either. Otherwise, if you're coming with me, you're propped up on your elbow and you're just going to double check that alignment. So you want to have your elbow and your shoulder in alignment. If your arm's too far out or too far in, you haven't got a decent base of support. Your feet, we're going to bring them slightly in front. So whether you're lying right down or whether you're propped up on your elbow, your feet are just slightly in front. You're going to take your hand, you're going to place it on your hip, and you're going to push that hip away. So you've lifted through the shoulder girdle, the waistline is activated, and your pelvis is stacked. You're going to keep that pelvis stacked. Your hand can stay on your hip, or if you like, you can bring it in front on the mat. Either is fine. It's up to you. Both feet are flexed for me. You're going to lift the top leg up off of the bottom leg, and then you're going to lower it down. As you lift that leg, you've got an inhale breath, and as you lower it, you've got an exhale breath. And as you lift and lower, you're not lifting too high that you feel movement through your torso and that shoulder girdle. So you're working within the range that's comfortable for you. Inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you lower. Rest of the body is nice and stable and it's still. 3 more. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And last one. And then pause for a second. In a minute we're going to go forwards and backwards. When we go forwards and backwards, we're going to go flex foot forwards, pointed toe backwards. Hand on the mat or your hip, either is fine, you can choose. Lift your top leg up, have your flex foot and then kick forwards. Point your toe as you take that leg backwards. Inhale as you glide that leg forwards, exhale as you glide it back. And your leg is long. Flex the foot as you come forwards, point your toe as you go back. It's like you're trying to scrape your heel on the opposite side of the room. And remember, there's no movement through that torso. If you feel that torso wobbling around, you're making your kick smaller. Glide forwards for me, glide backwards. Let's do 2 more. Inhale forwards, exhale backwards, and last one. When you get back to the center, you're going to pause, you're going to lower your leg down, and you're going to let it rest. You're going to come right down now if you're not already there, and you're going to cradle your head in on your arm. Once you're down, just double check your head, neck and shoulder alignment so that chin's up off of your chest for me. Hand's going to come on the mat if it's not already there. I want you to have some stability through your hand. That could be your fingertips or that could be a flat hand. The choice is yours. You're going to turn your top leg so your knee rotates to the ceiling. We're going into hip openers. You're going to take your toes from your ankle to your knee. You're going to kick up nice and high. And you're going to flex your foot as you bring that leg down. So ankle to knee, kick high. Flex the foot as you bring it down. Let it slide. Ankle to knee, kick up, flex the foot on the way down. Let them flow. Inhaling and exhaling. Rest of the body's nice and still, so you're not moving too much that you feel your waistline dropping down into that mat. Breath matches your movement. Ankle to knee, kick up and down. Last one. Ankle to knee, kick up and lower it down. Lovely. You're going to roll onto your other side. You can roll straight over, or you can come with me and flip yourself to the opposite end of your mat. We're going to prop up on the elbow if we can. If your preference is to be cradling your head on your arm, that's fine too. Check your alignment if you're on your elbow with me. Make sure that elbow's underneath the shoulder. Fingers and forearms are out nice and long. Legs slightly in front, just a little bit in front, not directly in line. Hand on the hip. Place the hand on the hip, push the hip away, lift through that shoulder girdle, engage that waistline and keep that position. Hand can stay on your hip or it can come on the mat. Looking across your room, feet are flexed for me, so both toes are pulled towards your nose. You're going to lift your leg up and then you're going to lower it down. As you lift your leg, inhale, and as you lower, exhale. As you lift and lower that leg, you're not lifting too high that you feel your waistline is dropping down into the mat. So you're working within the range that's comfortable. Nice long breaths to match your movement. If you feel your waistline dropping, you're lifting too high. Change the range for me. Gently lift and lower. And one more. And rest. Going forwards and backwards in a second. Flex foot forwards, pointing the toe on the way back. Kick is as big or as small as you like. Pardon me. If it's too big, you're going to feel your body wobbling around, so make it smaller. Listen to your body. Lift your leg and with your flex foot, come forwards, point your toe as you go backwards. Inhale forwards, exhale back. Work within your own range. Body's nice and still. Breaths matching your movement. Gliding forwards, dry throat to 18 and gliding back. Nice long breaths, just let them flow. Keeping the torso as still as you possibly can. Okay, you got 2 to go. Glide forwards, glide backwards. And last one. When you're in the center, lower the leg down and rest. Coming down to cradle the head in on the arm. So bend your arm. You could have it straight if you prefer, otherwise it's bent. Legs long and straight for me. Hand down on the mat in front of you for a bit of stability. Turn the top leg so the knee rotates to the ceiling. Take the toes from the ankle to the knee. Kick the leg up nice and high and flex your foot as you bring it down. Ankle to knee, kick high, flex the foot, down. Let them flow. Let them glide. Ankle to knee, kick up and lower it down. Nice long breaths. Ankle to knee, kick up, lengthen that leg as you lower it all the way down. So you're kicking high, you're lengthening the leg along, you're keeping the torso as stable and still as you can. Okay, let's do one more. Ankle to knee, kick up and lower it all the way down. Nice team, rest for a second. We're going to flip onto our stomachs. We're going to warm your spines up in prone in our goalpost position, and then we're going to move into some darts and other bits and pieces. So flip yourself over. Once you're over, you're going to lie down and you're going to put yourself in your goalpost position. So your hands will be wider than your mat, and your forearms, wrists, elbows, they're just resting. We're not using them. They're not going to lift us up. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. So draw your shoulders back and down. Legs sliding together for me to begin with. Bit of inner thigh engagement. They might come apart as we go along here, but that's okay. Tummy muscles are engaged, so you feel your belly button's just got that gentle lift up off of the mat. We're just coming to the bottom of our ribs. You're going to take a breath in and breathe out to lift your face and lift your chest just gently up off of the mat, and then lower yourself all the way down. Inhale first, exhale, up you come, just to the base of those ribs for me, and then lower yourself all the way down. So just move in your own time as you're coming up and down, not too high that you feel that your rib cage is fully up off of the mat, and keeping minimum pressure through those forearms and those hands. They're not doing the work for you, your back muscles are doing the work. Okay, let's do 2 more. Inhale first, exhale, up you come just to those bottom ribs, and then lower yourself all the way down. And 1 more. Inhale first, exhale, up you come, and then lower yourself all the way down. You're going to bring your arms down by your side, and you're going to have your palms facing to the ceiling. So we're going to move into darts. Arms are long. Reach your fingers right down to your toes. It's going to draw your shoulders away from your ears. Toes, bring your big toes together. Let them touch and let your ankles flop out to the side, for want of a better word. Okay, we're going to go into some darts. You're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to lift your face, lift your chest, and lift your arms up off of the mat for me. And then you're going to lower yourself all the way down. Inhale first. Exhale, up you come. Lift, lift, lift. Lengthen those arms. And then lower yourself all the way down. You want a really long body here. So as you come up, you're thinking length from the crown of your head. Nice long torso. Lower all the way down. Those feet of yours are nice and relaxed down on the mat. We're going to do 3 more. Breathe out to come up, nice elongated dart for me, and then lower yourself all the way down. Let your breath match your movement. Inhale first, exhale, up you come, and lower down. And last one, inhale first, exhale, up you come, lengthen those arms, and lower yourself all the way down. We're going to go into a little child's pose stretch. So you're going to take your backside back to your heels. You can have a little gap between your knees if you want. If it's more comfortable for you to have your arms down by your side, you're going to put your arms down by your side. You're sinking those hips of yours back to your heels, and you're taking some nice big deep breaths. Still breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, and you're breathing into the back of your rib cage. Inhale and exhale. 1 more breath pattern, big deep breath in and out. We're going to come forwards again on our stomachs. We're going to do some heel beats. So you're going to come back down. You're going to rest your head in on your hand. You're going to rest one hand on top of the other, and then your head on your hand. Heel beats, we're going to tap heels together. So legs will be long. They're long and straight, and you're tapping your heels together. This is about your glutes, your inner thighs, and your torso staying still. So we're trying not to let too much bounce happen in our body. So head's resting in on your arm. Still have your shoulders down and away from your ears. Take a breath in and breathe out to lift your legs up. Turn your heels in towards each other and start to tap, 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 tap. So strong heel beats. Body stable. Breathing. Nice big breaths. You feel inner thighs and glutes working. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and lower those legs all the way down. So we're going to do that again. Shoulders away from ears, abdominals switched on, bodies as still as we can. We're moving our legs only. Take a breath in and breathe out to lift those legs up. Turn those heels in towards each other and start to tap, 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 tap. So nice and strong, torso stable. Keep your breath pattern going. Nice long breaths. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and lower those legs down. We're going to do 1 more set in a minute. If you prefer to rest, feel free to rest. Otherwise, tummy muscles switched on. Take a breath in, breathe out to come up, turn those heels in towards each other and start to tap, 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 tap. So nice and controlled, torso stable, nice strong heel beats. Keep the breathing going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and lower them all the way down. stay down here with your head on your hand and just lie here for a minute and feel how your hip bones touch the mat. So your two pelvic bones, you should feel them just gently on the mat. We want to keep them there in a minute. So we're going to work on some leg lifts, but we're not going to lift so high that our hip lifts and that hip bone lifts. So if you think length more than height, you'll be on the mat. So your head's resting on your hands. We're going to start with your left leg, core switched on, so you feel your belly button's got that engagement. Take a breath in and breathe out to lift your left leg up. Keep your hip bone on the mat and make your left leg as long as you possibly can, and then lower it down. Change to the right. Lift the right leg up, make it long as you possibly can, and then lower it down. As you alternate sides in your own time, make sure you're breathing. Pelvis stays connected to the mat, so you're not lifting too high that you feel that hip bone lifting. That leg is really long. You should feel the activation in the back of your leg muscles. As you lift your leg, your calf, your hamstring, and your butt should click on. So those three muscle groups should sequence: calf, hamstring, glute. You might find that one side you can really feel it. It works quite well. The other side, one muscle group's doing more of the work. So sometimes you've got to think about it. Calf, hamstring, and glute. Okay, one more on each side. Lift and lower, and last one, and then pause. We're going to return back to our little child's pose stretch. So back you go, bottom back to heels, arms in front for me. Let yourself lengthen out. We're going to do a little oblique version while we're here. So sink your hips back towards your heels. Knees can be apart or together, it's up to you. Couple of breaths. Put your left hand on the edge of your mat and slide your right hand through and put it on top of your left. And then just still sink those hips back to your heels. Get that nice stretch all the way down through your right hand side. And then walk your right hand through the middle of the mat. Put it on the right hand side. Put your left hand on top of your right and then sink yourself back again onto those heels. Nice big deep breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath pattern. And then we're going to wriggle you up onto all fours. We're going to come up into quadruped. So you might want to wriggle yourself back further down your mat. It's entirely up to you. Middle of the mat's good. Weight bearing through our little fingers so we're able to lift our thumbs up off of the mat. Nice broad shoulders. Gap between our knees. So you've got a little gap between your knees. That puts your knees directly underneath your hip bones. Neck's nice and long. So your gaze should be about a hand pace and a half in front of you. Broad across those shoulders. Starting with your arms. Take a breath in. Breathe out to slide your arm out, lift it out in front of you, then bring your fingertips back to the mat and glide it underneath. Changing sides, slide the arm out, lift it up for me, and then bring it down. So you're going to alternate sides in your own time. As you slide your arm out and lift, there's no movement through those shoulders. They're still. If you feel them moving, you're not going to lift your arms so high. And left to right may well be different. My left is much different to my right. My right hand was the hand that I used a mouse for in my former business life. It was my mouse hand. So my right shoulder has always been slightly rolled forwards. One more on each side. Last one here. Then we're going to work with your legs in a minute. So hands stay on the mat. Keep that weight bearing through your little fingers. Choose your first leg. Slide your toes along the mat. Lift that leg up, make that hip still square to the ground. Bring your leg back down and slide it underneath. Change sides. Opposite leg glides out and lifts, and then bring it down. So as you're doing this movement, you're picturing in your mind, there's a cup of tea or a cup of coffee sitting on top of your pelvis, and you're not letting it move. Keep the pelvis square to the ground. So try not to lift the leg too high that you feel it twisting. Nice, long breaths. Okay, we're going to do one more on each side. Slide the leg out, lift it up for me, make it long, and then bring it down. One more on the other side. Glide the leg out and lift, and bring it down. Okay, you've guessed it, we're going opposite arm and leg. Take a breath in, breathe out to glide opposite arm and leg out, lift them up, make them really long, and then bring them down. Changing sides. Opposite arm and leg go out, lift them up nice and long, and then bring them down. So you're going to change sides in your own time. If today it's better for you to sit with singles, you're going back to singles. You haven't forgotten about that imaginary cup of coffee that's sitting on your pelvis. Nice long breaths to match your movement. Glide them out, lift them up, and then bring them down. Let's do one more on each side. Slide opposite arm and leg out, bring them up, and then bring them down with control. One to go. Inhale first, exhale out you go, and bring them down. Pause here. Some little cat stretches. So what you're going to do is let your head drop down between your arms, and you're going to arch your back right up towards the ceiling and open up through that spine. Then you're going to bring your tummy down towards the mat, and you're going to take your gaze across the room. So you change the direction. Then go again. Let your head drop down between your arms, arch your back right up towards the ceiling and open up through that spine for me. And then allow your tummy to come down and take your gaze across the room. Okay, one more in each direction. Head drops down between your arms, arch your back right up towards the ceiling for me. And then last one, tummy comes down, gaze goes out. Then we're going to pause in neutral, and we're going to do a thread the needle stretch. So keep your left hand on the mat, pick your right hand up and put your palm up towards the ceiling. Then slide your arm through and bring your ear right down to the mat if you can. And just stay there and breathe. Nice rotational stretch through your body. Couple of breaths. Okay, then you're going to slide that hand back and you're going to change sides. Palm up, slide it through, bring your ear down towards the mat for me and stay here and breathe. Big deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out. And then slide the hand back and rest. We're going to come into some mermaids. So swivel yourself around and put yourself in your Z-sit position. So I've got my right leg in front, my left leg behind. So perhaps start with that if you can. That will make my cueing make sense to you. If one leg feels like it's pinching or uncomfortable, just stretch it out long and straight. That could in fact be both legs. Otherwise, as much as possible, hips are grounded down on the mat. You're sitting up nice and tall. So instead of sort of sitting like this, you've sat yourself up and you've lifted your ribs up off of your hips. You're sitting up tall and you're looking right across the room and you've got a spot for your eyes across the room. You're going to float your arms out towards the side. Your right hand is palm down, your left hand is palm up. You're still sitting up tall. You're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, your right hand is going to reach down to find the mat, and you're going to reach your left hand right across the top of your head, and you're going to reach and reach and reach and reach. And then you're going to inhale as you come back through the center. So you've got another exhale breath. As you go to the other side, you've swiveled those palms of yours around, and you're going over. You inhale as you come back through the center. Ready to exhale over to the right. You've swiveled those palms, hips staying connected to the mat. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale through the center and go over to the left. Okay, team. We're going to do one more each way. Over you go. Right hand comes down. Left palm up. Reach and reach and reach and reach and reach. And last one to the other side. Over you go. Hand comes down. Palm up, reach, 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 reach. Back into the center, pause, lower arms down. If you can, without touching the mat with your hands, lift your legs and swivel them to the other side. Obviously, if you need to touch the mat, touch the mat. Okay, Z-sit the other way, left leg's now in front. Sitting up tall again, looking across the room, both arms out towards the side, left palm down, right palm up. Take a breath in, breathe out, over you go. Hand finds the mat and reach and reach and reach. Soften that left elbow as you reach. Come through the center and go over to the other side. Keep looking on your spot on the wall. Get that nice length all the way through your side. This is called lateral flexion. Inhale, exhale, over you go. If you struggle with lateral flexion, so stretching sideways or lengthening through your side, or you've got restricted range of movement through there, you're going to struggle with rotation. Think of twist. So rotation is something that we go through every day in our lives. Whether you're bending down to picking something up out of the car, bending down to picking your clothes up out of the washing machine, it often involves lateral flexion and rotation. So you want to be able to move freely in those planes of movement. Got one more in each direction. Hand comes down, the elbow softens, and over you go. All right, we've got the last one to the right. Inhale first, exhale, over you go. When you get back to the center, pause, lower your arms down. Going to stretch your legs out long and straight for me. I'm going to come into spine stretch. So long, straight legs, let's have them hip width distance apart, so a little gap still between your knees. If it's more comfortable, if you have them bent, bend them. That's perfectly fine. Otherwise, long and straight. Sitting up tall. Go back to the thought process of how your spine felt when you did your cat stretches. Same sort of movement here to a degree. Right now you're sitting on your sit bones. The bones that you're meant to sit on, you're sitting on them. Got to keep them on the mat. So when you go forwards, you don't want to go so far that your sit bones lift. Let's do hands by our side with our palms up. Sit up tall for me. Take a breath in, tuck your chin to your chest, and round your spine backwards. Keep that curve of your spine. Slide your hands forwards, but keep your sit bones touching the mat. Slide your hands back in and return to sitting up nice and tall in perfect posture. Breathing. Breathe in first. Gently tuck the chin to the chest, around the spine backwards. Exhale as you curl forwards for me. And then slowly come back up. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders are nice and relaxed, ribs are lifted up off of our hips. Going again, breath in, tuck the chin to the chest, round through the spine. Breathe out as you curl yourself forwards. And then all the way back up. We're going to do one more. And the last one we're going to hang out down there if we can. So breath in, chin to chest, round through your spine. Exhale as you curl forwards. And keep coming. Come as far as you can. Let your sit bones lift. Hold on to the back of your calves. Maybe you can reach your ankles. Maybe today you can reach the bottom of your feet. Maybe you can't. Just hold on to whatever you can. Hold on there for a few big deep breaths and let everything just stretch out. You're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then you're going to let go of whatever it is you're holding on to, and you're slowly going to come back up to the top, and you're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to go into twist. You've got some choices for your arms. I'm going to turn myself around. So you can choose. You can have your hands across your chest, you can have your hands on your shoulder, or you can have your arms directly out towards the side. Some of that might depend on the space that you're in. If you start with hands out and you want to go to hands across your chest, that's fine. Just swap them over. I'm going arms out towards the sides, sitting up tall. My hands are in line with my shoulders, and I'm going to do the best I can to keep them that way. Feet are flexed. Pull your toes towards your nose. Take a breath in, breathe out. Let's twist. Let's go to the left first. Exhale as you twist. Come back through the center and then twist to the right. Breathe out as you twist. So you're going to alternate in your own time. Feet stay still. Gently push down on the leg that you're twisting towards. That's going to help you stabilize through the feet. When the feet are still, the pelvis is still. When the feet are moving, the pelvis is moving. We're trying to disassociate the movement from the top part of the body and the bottom part. We want the bottom part still and the top part moving. If you want, your gaze can follow your hands if your arms are out nice and long. That gives you some more feedback as to whether your hands are staying in line with your spine. Okay, you're going to do one more to the right. So I want to make sure you finish on your right hand side. If you started twisting to your left, when you get back to the center, lower your arms down, give your shoulders a roll. Roll them one way and then roll them the other way. Okay, bend your knees and have your knees and feet touching. And have your feet probably 60 centimeters away from your hips. You don't want them too close. Bit of a gap. Hands on the outside of your shins and your calves. You're going to do half roll backs, and your knees and feet stay touching. Your hands just slide down your legs. So sit up tall, little pelvic tilt. Bring the chin to the chest. So you should now be looking at your thighs. And then scooping your belly, start to roll back. You're just going halfway. Your hands are sliding along your thighs. Pause there, breathe in, and breathe out to roll back up. So I don't want you to go all the way. Sit up tall. Inhale first, chin to chest, look to those thighs. In actual fact, engage your thighs. Touch them together, keep them touching. Roll back halfway, pause, take a breath in, and then come back up. So the depth is up to you. If that's a bit far for you, don't go that far. If you want a bit more, go a bit further. Sit up tall, breath in, chin to chest, breathe out. And do your little pause down here. You'll feel your tummy muscles shaking as you inhale, and then exhale to come all the way back up. Okay, we're going to do 3 roll. Inhale first, tuck of the chin to the chest, keep those legs slightly engaged. Keep them switched on, gently touching each other. Pause down there, take a breath in, and then breathe out to come all the way back up. Sit up nice and tall. 2 to go, feel free to rest if you want. Inhale first, down you go, breathe out. Keep those legs engaged. Pause here, take a breath in, and then come all the way back up. And last one, inhale first, tuck the chin to the chest, down you go. Pause, breath in, come all the way back up. Stretch your legs out long and straight, and if you're on a mat, wriggle forward so your heels are just off of the mat. We're going to do 1 full roll down. Arms are out nice and long, shoulders are relaxed. Take a breath in, bring your chin to your chest, and roll all the way down for me. Try and go down bit by bit with your spine. Let your arms go to the ceiling. You're going to circle your arms around, and you're going to bring them all the way down, and you're going to rest them down by your side. You're going to keep them on the floor, so they're slightly wider than your mat. You're going to bend your knees, and you're going to bring your feet into hip width distance apart. We're going to do side to side in a second. So chin's up off of your chest. You've got that nice little gap between your chin and your chest. Arms are gently engaged into the floor. You haven't jammed them in, but they are engaged. You're going to use your arms to help you. Float one leg to 90 degrees and hold it there. Take a breath in, second leg joins and tuck your knees and feet together to touch. Shins should be horizontal to the ceiling. So if you look down, you can see your feet. Your feet are too high. Drop them so they're on the horizontal. Spine should be in neutral. You should feel that little arch underneath your back. Knees are glued together. I've stuck them together. We're going to go towards the left first. Take a breath in, breathe out to let your knees and feet go towards the left. Your hip is going to lift, but your shoulders are not. Then you're going to pull yourself back through the center, and you're going to go to the right. So, arms are still engaged into your mat. Knees and feet stay touching. Shoulders are staying on your mat. Alternate sides in your own time. If you feel your shoulders lifting, you're going a little bit too far. So go within the range that you can control. And again, one side may well be different to the other. Let your breath match your movement. So you're breathing out as you go over, and you're breathing in as you draw it all the way back in. If you want to have a little rest, you're having a little rest. Those knees of yours are still stuck together. Those shins of yours are still touched, they're still horizontal to the ceiling. And as you come through the center, you still feel you're in neutral spine, so that little arch is still in your back. You're going to do one more to the right. I want you to make sure you finish on your right hand side, and then come back into the middle and keep your legs in tabletop. We're going to do a big stretch from here. Take a breath in, breathe out. As you do so, drop your legs to the left. They're going to go all the way down till they touch the mat or the carpet, and you're going to look over your right shoulder. Once you're down, you're just going to relax into that and let it all stretch out. Taking nice big deep breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath pattern here. And then re-engage your tummy muscles. Squeeze your knees together. Take a breath in and breathe out to pull your legs back into tabletop. And then drop them to the other side. So your gaze goes over your left shoulder now. Your legs have gone to the right. And just letting yourself stretch out. Big deep breaths. Still inhaling and exhaling. Okay, pull your legs back into the center. You can have your feet on the mat if you prefer. And then lower one leg down at a time. Okay, put your feet into hip width distance apart, bring your arms down by your side. Float one leg to 90 degrees and hold it there. Take a breath in, bring the second leg up to join it. Hands tuck in behind your knees, arms are long and straight. We're going to do one assisted roll up. If you prefer to sit yourself up in another manner, then that's fine. Feel free to do so. Otherwise, take a breath in. As you breathe out, you'll exhale to chin to come to chest. Feet push away, roll yourself up, and then come and sit up nice and tall. And just sit for a second. We want to make sure that you don't feel dizzy or lightheaded. We're going to come up to standing, and we're going to do some standing roll up and down. So if you're feeling lightheaded, you're going to stay right where you are. Otherwise, you're going to come up to standing. Once you're up, you're going to stand with your feet hip width distance apart. You're going to stand nice and tall for me. You're going to check the alignment of your feet. So your feet and your should be nice and straight in line with each other, and you're sort of weight bearing through the outside of your feet. Arms are down by your side, and you're standing nice and tall for me. Hips and heels are going to stay in alignment. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to gently tuck your chin to your chest, and you're going to roll yourself down for me. As you go all the way down, your arms are just hanging. Just let them hang for me. Hang them like rag dolls. Pause at the bottom. Take a breath in. Allow your tailbone to tuck. Use your tummy muscles. Roll yourself back up. Come up to the top. Stand up nice and tall. Shoulders are relaxed and away from your ears. Check you don't feel dizzy. If you're feeling dizzy, stay here. Otherwise, breath in. Tuck the chin to the chest, and down you go. Breathe out as you go all the way down. Arms are hanging like they belong to a rag doll. Just let them hang. At the bottom, pause. Take a breath in. Allow your tailbone to tuck. Scoop through the belly and slowly come back up. The shoulders stay nice and relaxed. They're well away from your ears. Stay nice and tall. Check for lightheadedness. If you're okay, you're going again. Tuck the chin to the chest. Down you go. Long breath. All the way out. Let those arms hang. At the bottom, pause. Tailbone tuck, scoop through the belly, and slowly roll back up. Okay, we're going to do 2 more. Stand nice and tall. Check for dizziness and lightheadedness. And then gentle tuck of the chin to the chest. Down you go. Breathe out as you go all the way down. Let all the air out of your lungs. Make room for clean air for me. At the bottom, pause and breathe in. Allow your tailbone to tuck, scoop through your belly. Using those tummy muscles, you're going to slowly come back up to the top. On our last one, we're going to hang out down there. If that makes you feel dizzy, you're not going to hang out down there. So tuck the chin to the chest, down you go. All the way down. Okay, stay here. Circle your arms. Just let them hang out of their sockets and circle. Shoulders are hanging out of sockets. Don't overthink the circles, just let them circle, go the other way. Let the arms hang. Nice, pause, relax the arms, keep them still, take a breath in, breathe out to roll up. Nice long breath, come back to the top and just stay right there. Stay standing upright. You can feel a little bit dizzy after that because we've been down there for a little bit. Okay, we're going to go into final stretch. I'm going to cue you onto tippy toes. If tippy toes isn't good for you, then you're going to keep your feet flat-footed. You're going to stand up tall and you're going to look across your room and you're going to fix your eyes on a spot. And you're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to come onto your tippy toes. You're going to take your arms out towards the side, and you're going to reach those arms of yours right up towards the ceiling. You're going to lengthen your arms, and you're going to bring your heels, and you're going to return them down to the ground. So you're going to inhale breath first, breathe out. Arms out to the side, take those arms right up towards the ceiling. You're going to try and touch the ceiling. And then slowly all the way down. Okay, you're going to do 1 more. Inhale first, exhale, arms out to the side, take those arms up to the ceiling. Try and touch the ceiling with those fingertips. And slowly go all the way down. And you're going to rest at the bottom. Nice team, well done. Have you enjoyed that session? Play with it as much as you like for the next 7 days. It'll be live for 7 days. If you have any queries or concerns, you know where to find me. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch up with you all soon. Feel free to drop me an email if you have any worries. Thanks, team. Bye now.